We were joking in the war room yesterday about how, because we know we are hosting NBC will have one of the divisional games, and we're like, are we going to be broadcasting the Jacksonville game? Like, am I doing my DraftKings 3 play from the pool?
Right? That'd be awesome. Jay and I will be at the Jags bar with Steven.
Yeah, of course.
I, for one, welcome our Jags-Panthers Super Bowl in Santa Clara in the first week of February. Those teams are both going to have home playoff games at this point.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy Festivus out there.
It is a Festivus for the rest of us.
Especially today.
1,000%. So you are rocking Harambe?
Yes. Rest in peace. We'll never forget.
Never forget.
Not on this desk, we won't.
Absolutely
People
not.
try to forget. I won't allow it.
Absolutely not. We are a pro Harambe desk here at the Happy Hour. I'm rocking Stranger Things season 1. Yeah,
so very timely.
Yeah, very timely. Obviously,
no spoilers.
No spoilers. No.
I actually haven't watched it, so I can't spoil it for you.
I'll
Google what happens
exactly.
and I'll tell you in the ad break.
Yeah, no, it's we're both up to date. There's new episodes coming out on Christmas, I believe, very soon.
And I'm wearing the leftovers from Matthew's wardrobe. Thank you for bringing this in for me, Matthew. What is disturbing, though, is that there were 2 options, and the other option,
Kevin,
which is
grab
too
the
big.
other one. Bring this over here. I just want people to see, like, sort of.
It's good.
It's waivers. We got a little bit of time here.
Yeah. It's good, but what's disturbing to me is the size of the thing.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
Look at that. I don't know if we can go on camera 1 here.
Incredible. Jay, that would look great on you.
I was going to wear it, and I did, but it covers 2 of me. So this is the disturbing thing.
Someone bought me, I guess it's a 2XL, but you're taller than I am.
We're like the same height. We're both like 6'6", right? Yeah. So why are you wearing 2? Well, yeah. What's the 2XL story?
I don't know. Somebody bought. I think I asked my wife just to grab a ugly sweater at some point, for some party, and this is what she came up with.
Like
it might have been the only one.
Like hoodies and stuff.
I do like them baggy. I do sometimes, but this is like extremely, yeah. Aloha Brooks. Jay's wearing the Mr. Rogers Christmas sweater. I disagree. Jay is wearing the. We can put this somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, like an Aspen look.
Throw it.
I don't think
that's going to work. Nice to be thrown.
Let's see.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
By the way, set looking amazing as always.
Yeah. Well done, Seth.
Everybody's in the holiday spirit. Jay's ready though for Aspen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're ready to go down the slope. So I'll figure out a place to throw this up.
Yeah, put it in for Breece Hall.
Yeah,
let's get rid of Breece Hall and put
there we go.
We're actually going to talk some fantasy today. We got your waivers. Don't worry, we're still here. We're still doing waiver wires. We're going to recap what was a shockingly kind of electric Monday night game between Philip Rivers and the 49ers. It was awesome. We're going to recap everything and who you could trust going forward. But before we do any of that, league championship managers, you of course, drink for free today. A very special day for all of you that will be playing in the Fantasy Football Championship this week.
Yes, and I will be in.
That includes Jay Croucher.
Yes, I will be in.
Against Rotopat?
Against Rotopat, yep.
Rotopat is just a wagon this year in every league we do.
Guillotine League, our show league, Jay versus Rotopat. League of Arseholes, Jay versus Rotopat. It really is an Allen Mahomes.
This is Rotopat defeating Lawrence. Lawrence Jackson, unfortunately.
It's so funny, because going into last night, it was like 50-50, the win probability, and Lawrence had like 26 points from Jonathan Taylor, which is just like what Jonathan Taylor does, I suppose. The Chubby Leather Daddies, 50-point emphatic win over producer Steven.
Running back might be an issue for you this week, though. No Judkins, Tony Pollard. He's been good for 2 weeks, but
I also it's covered up there. But I have Jalen Warren on my team. I feel like I wasted the good Jalen Warren game.
Yeah, exactly.
My team's not great. But Rotopat's team isn't. It's very much. It feels like 2 wild card teams got to the.
That's fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
it's insanity.
1,000%.
Yeah, it's like when the Kurt Warner Cardinals got there against like the Roethlisberger Steelers. That's kind of the matchup. Not juggernaut teams, but someone will win the Super Bowl.
Didn't Taylor Heineke win a playoff game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came close.
Came close against Tampa, against Tom Brady. It was the Tom. It was
just came up a little short.
He was. But Taylor Heineke's Washington game against Tom Brady, that was the closest any team came to the Buccaneers that year in the playoffs.
Yes.
Like he was gutty.
Hang a banner.
He got it out. I mean,
it came close.
Yeah, it's like the NBA
against Tom
Cup.
Brady.
Yeah.
I would actually hang that banner.
No, he didn't.
That game was bizarrely close.
It was more of a game than a lot of the other Buccaneers games during that run. But yes, it's very disappointing. I'm very upset with the entire league of assholes that that this is what we have to work. I'm out. So finally I'm out of the league and of the playoffs. So now there's an opportunity finally for somebody else to win because I'd sort of gotten bored with winning because I'd kept doing it year after year. And
like the Chiefs.
And yeah, exactly like the Chiefs. I really am. I'm a Holmesian. I might have torn my ACL, my fantasy ACL. At any rate, like Lawrence, Connor, producer Steven, producer Damien, I'm disappointed in a lot of you. Because we're left with two bad choices.
I know.
We've got Evil Jay. No one wants
job.
Jay to win. That he'll be insufferable, more insufferable if you can imagine that. And then you've got Roto Pat, who, we love Roto Pat. He's part of the Roto World family, but he's not. He's on TV.
We like
sure, we tolerate Roto Pat. We don't hate, But my point is that he's not, ideally somebody from Happy Hour would represent.
That's right. He's like one of two outsiders in the Happy Hour League, him and Denny. Which is kind of like, they're kind of a duo. Denny's on our show every week, so it doesn't count. You're right. Denny's on the show every single week. Dr. Denny.
Roto Pat took Big Show's place when Big Show left.
Roto Pat is the least involved person with the show of everyone in the league.
That's correct.
To be fair, Medium Show really wanted the spot.
I know.
But Medium Show is no longer with us. Not dead. He's fine. Just no longer working on this show.
Yeah, stop killing people off.
Yeah. Who was yesterday?
Daniel Dobb. Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford's career. He's just killing everyone.
I do.
Tyler Lockett might have been fair. I'll give you that one. Ryan Oswald, winning is the worst. I hate it. The GOAT excuseler. The excuseler's unstoppable.
Winning fatigue.
Yeah, exactly. It was boring. It's no fun.
Well, if you're trying to win.
Let me give myself a challenge. I'm going to start 0-7 and see if I can claw my way back.
Yeah.
I almost did.
You actually really almost did.
7-7.
Infuriating.
10th in points for in a 12-team league. Yep.
So you still might need help. As you heard Jay, he might be picking up a running back this week. It's very good, Jay. Waiver wire quarterbacks. Let's jump right into it. And that is Tyler Shough's music, because weeks 13 to 16, Tyler Shough has been quite good. Not only passing the eye test, but you see the stats consistently 17-plus points in fantasy. The Saints blew out the Jets. That performance could have been even bigger. They put in Taysom Hill to throw a touchdown at the end. He's 87% available. We got to hear from Tyler Shough this week on his many roads traveled in his football life.
I got a wide genre, man. I keep it fresh. We got reggae, we got rap, we got country, EDM. I like to keep it fresh. Everybody keep the juices flowing. For me, I've kind of been everywhere for college-wise, so I've gotten a wide array. But don't let him lie to you. He's vibing to it as well. But we usually keep the same rotation.
So I was trying to hang this up over Breece Hall, but I screwed it up.
You knocked over.
I knocked over somebody.
Was it Mark Andrews?
Probably.
Killing Mark Andrews.
That's all right.
While the regulars were listening to Tyler Shough talking about his varied music taste.
Oh, not Derrick Henry.
Matthew was pulling a J and trying to kill off Derrick Henry.
There we go.
But the sweater looks good.
Yeah.
Especially
it's an absolute debacle. It's like you're trying to disarm a bomb and you set off two others that weren't even needed to be disarmed.
Don't you love when it wipes off of Shough and it goes back on and deer in headlights Matthew? Like, oh no, I underestimated that the sound wasn't 5 minutes long.
You could see it coming. Anyway.
You know what? It's the last show before the holidays.
Anyway, Tyler Shough.
Yes.
Tyler Shoughy making child's play at the NFL, Matthew, if you will. What is most surprised you, Connor, about Shough's level?
How comfortable and accurate he looks. I mean, no fear in the pocket. He looks like a pro NFL passer already. He's running a little bit, which when I watched the Louisville tape, I was like, this guy's going to run a lot at the NFL level.
You had him as a day 3 pick, right?
Day 2.
Day 2,
yeah.
Okay.
And
stop killing Tyler Shough.
And my draft rankings. He's just a Christmas murderer.
Yeah.
Tyler Shough, really good arm, comfortable, accurate. They're protecting him. Chris Olave is open all the time. So just the fact that how confident he looks in this offense raises the floor for him right away.
There's no question. You love the matchup this week against the Titans as well. 7 of the last 9 quarterbacks to face the Titans have thrown for at least 2 touchdowns. One of the quarterbacks is whatever the Chiefs put out there last week. So so you certainly like the matchup here, and he will get no votes whatsoever. But Kellen Moore has done an unbelievable job as coach this year for the Saints. Again, given the amount of talent they have, but they've been competitive every game. It feels like, or for the most part, like they're trying hard. You know what I mean? And the development of Tyler Shough, somebody who a lot of people were surprised when Shough got drafted. That was part of the Shedeur Sanders fall.
As a top 50 pick, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
People were definitely surprised at how high he went and that he went ahead of Sanders.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, so I'll just claim it for myself. But someone said that Kellen Moore, he's very organized. And I've always thought that's a good way to think about it. Like, he's very detail-oriented, organized. He's not some Shanahan, McDonald, McVay, outlier, genius play caller, but he just has this team running on time. Like they're a very professional outfit. They play hard, and they have a good chance to finish the season at 7-10 when it looked like they'd be a 3-14 team at one point.
And by the way, you mentioned people don't overestimate how important that is for a football team. The head coach of a football team is really more of a CEO, right? And so just organization, having everyone on the same page. Like one of the issues this is going to sound weird, but one of the issues at Texas A&M under Jimbo Fisher is that it was a free-for-all. That was like I heard from inside sources there. It was just like no organization whatsoever, and so it's just sort of free-for-all.
Marcel Reed? You heard from Marcel Reed?
Yes, that's my source, Marcel Reed.
Your weekly phone call with Marcel Reed.
Exactly. He's not taking it this week after that loss to Miami. It's a tough day at the office for Marcel. But no, just but you need the organization is not something that happens at every level of football.
How about this question from Ryan Oswald? Shough, Olave or Brissett, Michael Wilson stack this week?
Oh man.
I think Shough Olave.
Shough Olave
against Tennessee.
I think so too. I mean, Arizona's at Cincinnati, so I mean, that's pretty tempting. But you assume Marvin Harrison Jr. is back.
Just out there, running the routes.
Trey McBride will have
getting in the way of Michael Wilson.
Boy, I don't know.
It's not an easy one.
No.
Good question, Ryan.
Yeah, it is a good question. I think I would. I'm gonna take the Arizona stack. Okay. Arizona Cincinnati. That's a 53.5 is the over under there. The Tennessee New Orleans total is 39.5. So just give me a game with what we expect to be much higher scoring.
Yeah, I'd certainly say if you're an underdog in your matchup and you need to shoot for higher upside, I think Brissett and Wilson probably have that. Because as good as Shough has been, he hasn't been that statistically prolific. Like he has, I think, 7 passing touchdowns on the season. Like I think he's looked better than the numbers say.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So more upside in Brissett and Wilson.
All right, the deeper league targets at quarterback. Obviously, a lot of injury contingent names here. Marcus Mariota on Christmas against the Cowboys. JJ McCarthy, if he plays, is on this list, but obviously that's up in the air. Malik Willis, same with him, dealing with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, I mean, all these are injury contingent, right? Mariota's dealing with a hand, but it's a good matchup against Dallas's 11 of the 15 quarterbacks to face the Cowboys this year have scored at least 23 fantasy points as well. We don't know if Jordan Love's going to clear concussion protocol. Malik Willis is dealing with an injury as well, but in the 2 starts that Malik Willis had last year with Green Bay, he averaged over 19 fantasy points per game. So if Love doesn't clear it and Willis does get the start, you like his options. Again, he runs quite a bit. And, McCarthy, it's a good matchup against the Lions, who just gave up almost 500 total yards to the Steelers offense since Week 10. They're the worst pass defense in the NFL. Detroit.
Yep. Seems like
the roar has not been restored.
No, it hasn't. The roar is dissipated. JJ McCarthy didn't practice yesterday, but the line has been hovering around 5.5, Detroit favored, which implies that the market has some degree of confidence. I think that McCarthy will go. Nothing was broken in his hand, but still, like the video reaction on the sideline when they tested his hand out, it's not great. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The Vikings, they still have pride to play for, and it's a divisional matchup, and it's an island game, and they'll obviously do their best to win the game. But you wouldn't think they'd be risking JJ McCarthy if there's anything wrong.
No, and obviously you're not going to be looking to stream Max Brosmer in that situation if he's not a go. Let's go to running backs here. Michael Carter tops the list. Listen, it's that time of year where there's not a
we
lot.
Don't know about it. You said Tyler Huntley too. We don't know the status of Lamar Jackson.
No,
it's weird the amount of quarterbacks that are injured heading into championship week, right? Again,
it's a very strange game, Packers-Ravens, because there's a lot on the line there. The Ravens get eliminated, their season's over if they lose. The Packers can miss the playoffs or win the division still. Right. So, and Malik Willis with the shoulder, which didn't look good. And the early reporting out of Green Bay and what Matt LaFleur was saying, not super optimistic there. So, could be Clayton Tune against Tyler Huntley with real things on the line.
Yes, but. Yeah, fascinating game.
Yeah.
A game that you should tune into.
Absolutely.
Ravens, Packers.
All right, let's get to the running backs here. Michael Carter, 58% available. This is really just volume-based if you're desperate for a guy with some volume. He's got the Bengals, though, Matthew.
That's the point.
Which makes him potentially actually viable this week.
No team has allowed more fantasy points to opposing running backs than the Cincinnati Bengals. They're giving up over 30 a game. They are. And so over the last 2 weeks, Michael Carter, you mentioned volume, 29 touches for him, 67% of the snaps over the last 2 weeks. That leads the Cardinals' backfield. So if you are starting an Arizona running back, Michael Carter is the guy you want, and he tops the list of available running backs. You might need one. We don't know the status of Trayveon Henderson as of this date, and so Josh Jacobs is also potentially banged up as well. So you see there on your screen, Bengals, not only do they allow the most fantasy points to opposing running backs, but significantly more than number 2 Arizona.
Yeah,
over 4 points a game more.
Okay, armchair QB, 23-23, need a possible Trayveon, a replacement, C-Rod, Dylan Sampson, Tyjae Spears, or Michael Carter if Trayveon Henderson cannot go with the concussion PPR championship matchup. I think it's Michael Carter.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. You know, Chris Rodriguez, again, he actually got a little bit banged up as well, but it's like he's 40 yards, and you're hoping he falls in the end zone. Dylan Sampson feels like, and we're gonna get to this in a while, but it's like between Sampson and Raheim Sanders, Trayveon Williams, this feels like it's a little bit of a committee there in Cleveland.
Right.
Maybe one guy emerges, but for a championship week, that feels a little bit too cute. I just feel like Michael Carter is the guy that you feel best about his role and matchup of the options you just mentioned.
All right, let's get to. We got a comment here. Let's roll that in. I'm being told. All right, we can keep going.
Here we go.
A full screen comment. You don't get a lot of those. Aloha Bricks. Do you guys know?
Mele Kalika Mama.
There we go. Maka.
Mele Kalika
I'm glad
Maka.
you tried it first.
Sorry. Mele Kalika Maka is
Right.
how you pronounce it, I believe.
It's in a song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. To everybody in the chat, the producers and staff, this show has been great for all of us, and I'm so grateful for you all. Sending much aloha to every single one of you and your ohana. Same to you, Aloha Bricks. Very wholesome comment. We truly appreciate you and all the regulars that tune in every day and are active in the chat. It really makes the show.
It really does.
Honestly, I've had more fun this year, just the interaction with the chat than I ever had because the community in the show has really been able to, we just laugh more at everything that we get to show during and answer some questions as well. Hopefully you get a little fantasy advice on the way. Could not
agree more. It's been my favorite year of the show as well. So the regulars have been phenomenal. So thank you, Aloha Bricks. Right back at you and everyone and the regulars. It'd be interesting to see if that sucking up from Aloha Bricks gets him to number 1 in the power rankings.
It's a power move.
It's a power move.
I like it.
But by the way, again, so we're not going to do a show tomorrow or Thursday, but we will do one Friday. So there's still chance for other regulars to get your sucking up comments in to see if you can top Aloha Bricks in the power rankings.
That was like Week 17, Lamar Jackson when he put up the 5 touchdowns against the Dolphins to secure MVP back in 2023. It's a powerful statement of intent from Aloha Bricks.
Ryan Oswald Barry can pronounce that, but struggled with Manungai for so long.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
To be fair, you didn't pronounce it right.
Yeah, I didn't. Manungai. I got on the second try, and I got better than you. Like you.
Yeah, you did. That's fair.
Yeah, it's in a Buffett song. That's how I know that.
Okay.
So you were cheating.
Yeah. No, I've heard it before.
You were very eager to read it, I noticed. You're like, I've seen this before. I've heard this before.
I'm like, look,
this is my time. What was buoyed?
Yeah.
Boyoed?
Boyoed.
I think that's one of my top 5 favorite memories of the season.
No, it's my least favorite memory.
Jay's face. Jay looked like he there was like an alarm going off in the building. We had to get out of here.
I was terrified. I was terrified. No one's butchered the English language like that in
Boyoed.
a long way. My favorite one with Matthew, though, is because Matthew is very confident with his pronunciation of Dare Ogunbowale.
Yes.
So whenever he pops up,
You're very good at that.
jumps at the opportunity to say all those easy, elongated vowel sounds.
Oh, yeah. Once I learn, I say Manungai all the time now. Tunga Bailoa, Ogunbowale. Yeah. Once I learn a name, then I'm like super confident because everyone knows English is my second language. All right, let's move on.
Better at it. Blake Corum, 59% available. We talk about Blake Corum every single week at this point. Now, the point is he's got
the Hunter Henry of running backs.
That's exactly right. The crazy thing is the volume is consistently there now for Blake Corum, especially in a flex spot, despite Kyron Williams being on this team, Matthew. He's got Atlanta and Arizona to close out the season as the Rams vie for the number 1 seed.
It's shocking, but since week 13, he's the 9th best running back in fantasy football. 4 straight games with at least 13 fantasy points. It's obviously driven by the touchdowns, but they trust him in close, right? Since week 7, he's averaging over 11 touches a game, and so so if you're telling me just a guy that on an offense that's really good, that's always going to be in scoring position with a coach that trusts him, and he's getting 11 to 13 touches a game, he is very flex worthy. He's a rich man's Tyler Algier, just because I think the Rams offense is better than the Falcons. Speaking of the Falcons, that's who they play this week. That's the Monday night game. And the Falcons don't really have anything to play for. The Rams, I think, potentially obviously do. They're still playing for the division. So I think Corum has a potentially really good opportunity here against a Falcons team that is not great against the run.
Yeah, Corum v. Algier, the best face-off situation we have since Cage and Travolta went head-to-head in 1997 with John Woo directing. Some great action sequences in that one. The good thing with Blake
I still don't understand it. Whose face was on whose? Because they switch faces in Face Off, don't they?
Yeah, so each person's face is on the other person's face.
I know, but it was hard to keep track of, wait, is this John Travolta?
John Travolta goes undercover as Nick Cage. And then Nick Cage kind of escapes, and then he kind of steals Travolta's leftover face.
This can't
That's
be
the most ridiculous thing in the world.
This movie cannot be good.
No,
my favorite part of the whole movie, though, is.
But it is. I remember watching, and going like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah. The best part of the whole movie, though, is when Travolta, who is Cage now, but Travolta goes home to see his wife, and the wife is like immediately suspicious. It's like no one would ever be suspicious. If I walk into the house, my wife's fear is going to think that it's me. She's immediately like, "You Nick Cage in disguise."
Yeah.
Like, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, there are some unbelievable action sequences, though. You know, John Woo always brings the action.
Yeah,
he does.
When they're shooting each other through the mirrors, that's the best.
Yeah,
because you're shooting it yourself.
Yeah,
right? Amazing. Amazing.
It's hard to follow though.
Yeah,
don't watch it. Don't watch it stoned, or do watch it stoned, and it'll be fine.
Help you lock in. Emanuel Wilson, our next running back, 63% available. This is a weird one. Josh Jacobs, he didn't play after he fumbled. Besides the onside kick, I believe, which is even more strange as you look at the snap rates here.
The Packers claim that the reason he didn't come back in the game was because of the fumble, not because the knee was swelling up. But
no, I'm not buying that.
No,
I'm
sorry.
find that extremely hard to buy.
I mean, he's Josh Jacobs. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. You're not going to be like, yeah, sorry, you got to learn your lesson.
It's like year 8.
Right, exactly. Year 8 in the NFL. You've won the FedEx rushing title like a couple of different years.
We paid you a ton of money.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, you false started, you're out for the game.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Stop it. So anyway, we'll see if but it's just very important to pick up Emanuel Wilson. Even if you don't need a running back, you want to, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. I have no problem picking up somebody this week. See who your opponent might need and pick up those players. Just stash them on your bench. You got no need right there as well. But so Emanuel Wilson, who in his start, the one start he got this year that Jacobs was out, got like 30 touches. I mean, he's shown that he can be an every down running back in the NFL when he gets an opportunity. You don't love the matchup with Baltimore, but you're not super scared of it either.
No, particularly if Lamar can't go. Like right now, the Packers are 2.5-point favorites, so you suspect the game script shouldn't get out of hand, particularly if it is Snoop Huntley. And the other thing too is that the Packers, they don't absolutely need this game. If they beat the Vikings in Week 18, they will clinch a playoff spot. So particularly like if Jordan Love can't go, maybe they put more of their eggs in the Week 18 basket and just save Jacobs for that, knowing that they can win this game against Baltimore regardless. So I wouldn't expect, even if Jacobs does go, I still think that Emanuel Wilson can get the lion's share of the snaps.
Our last one, guys. Good luck sorting through this. The Browns' backfield, since Quinshon Judkins got hurt, you have Dylan Sampson, 89% available, who's missed some time with a hand injury. Raheim Sanders, the rookie Rocket Raheim Sanders, Matthew's old nickname. And then Trayveon Williams just finds a way back onto this show at some point every year. It's right. I mean, I was like, man, we haven't talked about Trayveon Williams all year. Well, there he is. It's time. Championship weekend.
It is. I mean, you're on your own again. I feel like if Sampson is healthy, he's missed the last 2 games with that hand injury. But if Sampson's willing to go, he's the one. Because we've at least seen some consistency and use. He was good at the beginning of the year when Judkins was not with the team, and
he can catch passes.
He can catch passes as well. But otherwise, unless we get some clarity between, and hopefully we'll get some news between now and again, we're going to do a show Friday, so we'll be able to talk about that. But I think I would probably rank them Sampson, Sanders, and then Williams. That's how I would rank them. Because I think Sanders has, Sampson feels to me like if he's healthy, he can be the guy that can get the most work. And then after that, Sanders feels like the guy that's got the better chance at a touchdown. And then, Trayveon Williams, whatever. He'll catch some passes. After Judkins went out, he had a 25% target share. I mean, they were throwing it to him.
This is actually a good scenario for you. You are playing for a championship.
Yeah.
You might need to pick up some sort of running back.
Yeah.
I have Judkins.
I have $98 left on my fab budget.
Our league is typically shallow on the waivers. What is your – do you – this is a real desperation spot, but there might be some usage in this backfield.
Yeah.
And you have Judkins.
Yeah, I have Judkins. So Judkins is out, and the backup options on my bench are like Cooper Kupp and Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson might be more appealing than any of the non-Dylan Sampson options here, but Sampson is the play here and the guy that you want, certainly. And also this game, this would be a very Steelsy game to lose. Like the Steelers are only 4-point favorites in Cleveland. tough divisional matchup, elite defense. Aaron Rodgers not really able to move around against
December games in Cleveland are brutal.
It would be very on brand for the Steelers.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
It was a weird game. It wasn't comfortable for the Bills. Josh Allen didn't have a good fantasy day.
Yeah, Browns have a very good defense still. They've kind of fallen off a little bit. I think they're still 4th in EPA for the season. But, yeah, I think this game is going to be close and ugly, and there will be enough game script for a Cleveland running back to be useful, and Sampson is the guy that you want, certainly.
All right, we got a question here. This one from Rob, is that?
No.
Born under a bad sign.
I don't know where you got Rob from.
I don't know either. I mean, I'm looking over the table at the tiniest font in the world, but he's asking, Michael Carter, Kyle Monangai, or Dylan Sampson?
Michael Carter.
Yeah. I think it's definitely between, I don't think it's Sampson. It's definitely between Carter or Monangai again.
I might lean Monangai.
Monangai, I feel, you got Arizona against Cincinnati. So just matchup there, I might do that as well. I mean, Chicago's at San Francisco. Their defense isn't great, but
San Francisco's.
I would play.
I think I'd go Carter.
It depends what you need, right? Once again, if you just really got to hope one of these guys scores, I'd start Monangai.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, San Francisco's run defense last night was very good against Jonathan Taylor, but I think that was largely because the Colts had a quarterback in shotgun 95% of the time, or 91% or whatever it was. So I do think that the Niners' run defense, which for the most part has been very poor this year, is probably going to get run on by the Bears. On the other hand, I don't think the Bears have any chance of stopping this Niners offense either. I think it's going to be a shootout. So that might be one mark against Monangai, but regardless, I think these two are pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd just rather go against Cincinnati. Like, I mean, they're both somewhat in committees. I think Monangai's actually the better player.
The total in the Cincinnati game, it's got to be.
It's 53 and a half.
High. Wow,
yeah, it's 53 and a half
points.
Yeah. So
51 and a half, though, San Francisco, Chicago.
Yeah.
Sure. I think the Niners might, if Kittle's healthy, the Niners might have the best offense in the league right now.
Schematically, it looks that way.
They looked awesome. We'll talk more about the Niners offense in the next segment, but just some other, deeper league guys here. Chris Rodriguez, we've talked about a zillion times, but double-digit touches in 5 of the past 6 games. He's scored in 4 of those. Tyjae Spears had 18 touches last week and an 18.5% target share. Those were both season highs. Jawhar Jordan, we don't know what's going on with Woody Marks yet, but last week Jordan out-touched Nick Chubb 20-7, had a 15% target share. If Marks can't go, you prefer Jordan to Chubb. And then finally, Audric Estime. Look, I mean, it was really more concerns about Taysom Hill than it was Evan Hall. He out-snapped Evan Hall 44-16. Problem was he only saw 8 touches, but he was out there. Like, if you're starting a Saints running back, Audric Estime is who you want. I just don't know that you want a Saints running back because it feels like Taysom Hill is the guy that's going to, do the running for him, even though
he got plenty of work.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to wide receivers, and before we get to who you need to pick up, we have to discuss who you might be missing. Now, DK Metcalf hasn't exactly been a fantasy powerhouse this year, but this is still extremely relevant. He's been suspended 2 games. This is from Tom Pelissero. The NFL is suspending Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf 2 games without pay for physically confronting a Lions fan during Sunday's win at Detroit. Per sources, Metcalf, who had reported the same fan to security last season, plans to appeal. So, and there's a bigger update on NFL policy and players technically entering the stands or confronting fans. So I don't know how this appeal is going to go for Metcalf because in the NFL policy, we don't know what happened between them, and we're not going to pretend to. But what we saw on camera, it's going to be tough, I think, to win the appeal, unless there's an angle we don't have.
The only thing, it just depends on if they do an expedited appeal or not, because there's a scenario where, in essence, like, that he will serve the suspension, but maybe that happens next year.
Right.
Like, does the appeal process take long enough that he can continue to play while the appeal process goes on? I think it's interesting that he did report the fan. Like, this is not the first time they've had an interaction, I guess. Like, there's some sort of relationship, or knowledge.
If he can't go, there's not really a super attractive option for the Steelers. It's such a run-heavy attack, so tight end based and spread out to different tight ends as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a marquee pick.
I can't imagine where you're just like, yes, Calvin Austin, or whatever. I mean, right? I mean, just
no one's ever said those
Adam
words.
Thielen.
Yeah, I mean,
or they signed Alan Lazard off the street this week, which is there's a non-zero on that. By the way, while we were doing the show, Tom Pelissero has tweeted out a video. He reposted a video that it's like the aftermath of the fan.
Yeah.
And it says, as DK Metcalf awaits his appeal hearing on his 2-game suspension, a video of the aftermath of his altercation with the fan the fan who shouts as he returns to his seat, "That was the goal, folks."
So the fan said that's the goal. That was the goal.
He came back to his seat and was like, "That was the goal." Like he was
goading.
No matter what happened, he was like, "There's something deeper here." Ignite the confrontation.
God, man, people are weird.
Yeah, that's a strange behavior at a professional sporting event.
Yeah,
like that's what you paid for a lower tier ticket, and that's
your whole goal is just to try to get DK Metcalf all riled up to
take a long walk, have a glass of water.
Yeah,
let's
dude,
evaluate what we're doing.
Sports might not be for you.
Yeah,
people are super weird. Either way, point is we don't think there's any fantasy. Like I don't think you were starting Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Warren. Yeah. That's who you're starting for the Steelers. And if DK can go, and we'll know between now and Sunday, then you can go ahead and start him in this game that the Steelers are playing against. Why am I blanking who they're? Oh, the Cleveland, the Browns. Damn. Right.
A more important bit of news or question from Jay Woogie. Jay Woogie asks, does Happy Hour do a fantasy awards show to wrap up the year?
Yes, we do, Jay Woogie.
Yes, we do. The Peacockies.
Yes, the most prestigious award show of all the made-up ones. The Peacockies.
Yeah. Rivals the BAFTAs.
Yes. Yeah. Also another made-up award show.
There's no red carpet for us, but maybe there will be this year.
Oh, yeah, maybe we could do.
Yeah.
Red carpet.
Our staff is in the control room now. Like, oh, please, God. Do not make us do a red carpet.
Should we do the awards show at the Jaguars bar in New York City?
That's very fitting.
Yeah. That's what we should do. Anyway, yes, the Peacockies are coming with all sorts of awards and lots of peacocks. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the wide receivers you might need to pick up. Troy Franklin, right on the fringe of our threshold. He's 49% available. Check your waivers. He had 5 targets, caught 4 of them for 66 last week. And obviously, we're talking about Troy Franklin because of the role he might have to play with Pat Bryant in concussion protocol here, Matthew.
Yeah, and they're playing the Chiefs, obviously, on a short week. This is one of the Christmas Day games. Since Week 10, the Chiefs allowed the 6th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. And when Troy Franklin gets some looks, he's had the games in which he's seen at least 6 targets. He's averaging over 15 fantasy points per game. So potentially some more looks in a good matchup, a game that Denver needs to win. And the Chiefs most certainly do not.
Yeah, the Broncos.
I don't know if the Chiefs are going to roll out there.
I don't think the Chiefs know what they're going to roll out there.
Yeah.
The Broncos are 13-point favorites on the road in Arrowhead. So
might not be enough.
Yeah. So right now, the at least according to the market, the 2 worst teams in football in a tier by themselves: Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And it's a debate as to who would be favored on neutral between those 2 teams. Chiefs play the Raiders in Week 18 and an absolute blockbuster as well, by the way. But favorable matchup. The only issue is that both Knicks may not need to throw the ball much in this one.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, when they played the Chiefs in another kind of fake late season game last year, where they beat Carson Wentz like 27-0 or whatever, Bo Nix had quite a good day. So they need to win this game, the Broncos.
They do need to win this game. I actually am not concerned about that. I agree with you. They probably won't need to, quote, throw a lot because I think the defense will control whatever offense it is that Kansas City's going to have to roll out there, and they'll be able to move the ball. Here's the thing, though. Sean Payton is one of the most I'm running up the score kind of coaches in the NFL. And also I just think that, like, it's been an up and down year for Bo Nix. And so if he can let him get some confidence, let him have a 4-touchdown game, kind of just get him going before the playoffs, I think I could see Sean Payton doing that.
Yeah, they need to also just wash out the sour taste of that Jags game, which was an absolute mess. Like, they were 3.5-point favorites in that game, and they got absolutely stomped at home. Right now they're like the least vibey 12-3 team in NFL history. So I think that, to get Bo Nix's confidence back, because he looked completely rattled by the end of that one.
Our other wide receiver, guys, is Parker Washington. We've been talking about him all year. Matthew, I know you love this player.
Yes.
77% available still, Jay. He's got the Colts on deck, and the target share that has gone Parker Washington's way might be a surprise to many people. But it feels like he's here to stay right now. Absolutely.
The thing is you just want shares of this Jags offense. Like, with the level that Trevor Lawrence is playing at, the best level of his career. The fact as well that, it's spread out, but it's a high volume passing attack between Washington, BTJ, and Jacoby Myers. As we look here at Next Gen Stats, Parker Washington gained 90 of his 145 receiving yards against the Broncos after the catch. Washington's +70 yak over expected, the most by any player in a single game this season, and the most by any Jags pass catcher since at least 2016. #Jax versus Den, #Duval. Parker Washington, I mean, one of those is a terrible missed tackle on the right sideline. But, Parker Washington, I think that this is very real.
Yeah, I mean, and clearly has the trust of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they like him. They like him there. And
they're also about to play the Colts pass defense that Brock Purdy just threw 5 touchdowns against. Technically 6 touchdowns because they didn't challenge the play to Tonges in the end zone.
This is correct. 80% of his targets last week, by the way, Parker Washington came in the slot. Colts allow the second most, your Colts, allow the second most yards to the slot so far this year.
Buff Gamer asked, can you guys help me with my final flex spot for the championship? Start 1 PPR, Kyle Monungai, Emeka Buka, Parker Washington.
I think it's Parker Washington.
Parker Washington or Monungai.
Assuming it's a full PPR league,
yeah,
I think
it's PPR.
Yeah, Parker Washington.
Yep,
All right, Buff Gamer, good luck in your fantasy championship.
Good luck.
Let's take a look at the deeper league targets. Jayden Reed against Baltimore. That's a Saturday game. Keep in mind for your lineups, of course. We'll be back Friday, though, to remind you of that. 50% available. Luther Burden. That's Sunday Night Football against the Niners secondary. Yeah. That does have some problems.
Yeah, he didn't play last week, but the week before, week 14, 23% target share. He's been averaging over 12 fantasy points a game since week 14. How about your guy, Adonai Mitchell?
Yeah, you're only playing him if Tyrod plays this week. You can't. I don't know if you could start him with Brady Cook, but keep an eye on that one. I mean, that might be a situation where the Jets, who are 2 touchdown underdogs, are getting blown out so bad you get some junk time points. Yep. Mack Hollins.
He's got every single game he's played with his Jets. He's out of these.
Oh no! Come back. Not now. We're so close.
Excuse me. I don't know what just happened there. Just something in my throat. 6 targets. Adonai Mitchell's had at least 6 targets for every game he's played with the Jets. That was weird.
Yeah, you'll be
sorry.
Right.
He'll be back.
You got 2 days to recover. It's like an extended week. It's like the ante of what
I talk too much. That's the problem. That's what that is.
But what's amazing is you sound completely normal once you reset. Like most people, they have to build back up. Yeah. You go from 0 voice to 10 out of 10, Matthew Barry.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It was weird.
Well, it's because
I was talking, all of a sudden, there was a.
It's because your essence subsists on diet soda and chicken tenders. This is the byproduct.
Yeah.
These strange things happen to the body.
Stuntman Chuck got buried some Robitussin, something, man. I don't know. I don't feel sick, but obviously maybe there's something going on with my throat. Sorry, Jay, no making out today.
Yeah.
All right, tight ends.
It's our Christmas tradition, but we'll do it.
Got my COVID shot a couple days just in case.
I tested negative for COVID officially. I definitely did. Yeah. I promise you. I showed you guys I texted you guys the.
You did Texas proof. Official proof.
Yeah.
Like when somebody's out
in grade
school.
6.
Yeah. I can't come to school today. Doctor won't let me.
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, I wanted people to know that, I didn't want people to worry that I'd shown up with it.
The excuse there with paperwork is that's some unmatched stuff.
Yeah, paperwork.
Exactly.
A quick mention on tight ends, because these guys don't meet our threshold. They're slightly over 50% roster. Dalton Schultz and Brenton Strange is who you want to check for in your league. You never know.
Obviously.
Taysom Hill, though, is somehow our tight end on waivers this week. He's 99% available. They do play the Titans. Taysom Hill against the Jets threw a touchdown, a long touchdown. He had 12 carries, so when we spent the week talking about Audric Estime, Taysom Hill gets a ton of rushing work. He had 6 targets as well. Just a ridiculous day production-wise across the board from Taysom Hill. We got to hear from him on his potentially last Superdome game. Some emotion here for the Saints utility man.
Yeah,
I didn't really feel any type of way this morning, but as I was driving to the stadium today, you start to think about the last 9 years and what it's meant to me and my family and the city and stuff. So I think for me personally, you just try to take it all in, we had a great experience here tonight, and I don't know what the future holds for me, but it was a special day.
There you go.
Two things here for me.
Yeah.
One, congrats to Taysom Hill on a very unique NFL career.
No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt.
Kind of an underdog as a prospect, played every role they ever asked of him, wide receiver, running back, quarterback. The second thing is, because this is the conversation about Taysom Hill in fantasy this week, this isn't probably, I wouldn't expect this next week. It was like a senior night of a varsity football game where at the end they're like, go out there and throw a long touchdown when the Jets are expecting you to run out the clock. And I mean, he'll get carries.
Yeah.
Plenty of carries, but the passing production obviously inflated this performance specifically.
48% of the team rushes last week. He got 7 more carries than any of the Saints players, so you could see him doing that. But I agree with you. And we've seen this before. Taysom Hill is one of the more point-chasey players in fantasy football history, and lots of controversy around whether he was a tight end, whether he was a quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're desperate, I guess not for running back, but at tight end, if you're in, this is what I would say. If like Strange and Schultz are not available, and you're basically looking around for a touchdown-dependent tight end, because that's kind of what you're sifting through, who has a better chance at a touchdown than Taysom Hill, who, they use in a lot of variety of ways. So I do think, from that standpoint, I agree with you. I would not expect this kind of production. But again, if you're just like, I'm sifting through all these crappy tight ends, and I'm just hoping one of them scores a touchdown, Taysom Hill probably has a better chance of scoring a touchdown than most of the other guys that are out there.
All right, let's look at some deeper league targets at tight end, Jay, here as we kind of headline the list with Coleston Loveland on Sunday Night Football. It's 57% available, so you got to check for that one.
Yep, favorable matchup against the Niners. We saw Tyler Warren get a ton of targets last night, even if he didn't do a ton with them. Jake Tonges as well against the Bears. George Kittle in some doubt there. So if Kittle can't go, then Tonges becomes very appealing. And then A.J. Barner against Carolina. A.J. Barner has had at least an 18% target share in 3 of his past 4 games.
Yeah, he's connected with Sam Darnold a few times, and had coming up the nice game last week as well. There we go. It is Festivus time. It is Festivus. It is time once again for the airing of grievances, Jay.
Yes, the airing of grievances. What have you got, Connor?
I got some problems with you people. And what I mean by you people is some of our co-workers here in the show. Jay, we had a chance for absolute greatness this year. And what I mean by greatness was we were all playing to make sure one thing. Matthew does not three-peat as the fantasy football champion in our league. And then the attention turned all of a sudden. The attention turned from, forget Matthew three-peating, can Matthew have a winless season? He started off 0-7, and all of a sudden, producer Adam, Stupid Dev, Jay, you by 2 points. Let him go on this winning streak. Steven gets blown out almost by Matthew. Rotopat loses by double-digit points. And then backup producer Pete gets smashed by 31 points. Let's give Matthew new life and new hope. We had it all there for us. We had it all to have Matthew have a winless season, and instead you gave him new life, new hope, and I'm so disgusted with all of you in our league. We'll recap Monday Night Football after this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
let's jump to the biggest disappointment for me, Matthew, in the NFL. I think it's Ashton Genty because he's drafted as effectively a first rounder. Now we're talking about benching him for Michael Carter.
Yeah. I think that's a great call. Just to give a different name here, I'll say Justin Jefferson, who's been pretty healthy this year, but just they can't get him the ball. Like, again, Justin Jefferson is being benched in the fantasy playoffs. He's one of the best wide receivers.
Joe, in the Premier League, biggest disappointment for you?
Oh, some big names, unfortunately, mate. I think Mohamed Salah, the Liverpool superstar, obviously was the best player in the league last season, but has not been himself for Liverpool this season. A big part of their struggles. The defending champs have got it together a little bit, but that's mostly without Salah. Obviously, he's been left out of the team in recent weeks.
The Premier League is in a huge stretch this holiday season with the biggest names in the game playing 40 matches in 16 days. Tune into NBC and Peacock to catch all the action and set your fantasy football lineups accordingly. For a chance to win a jersey off our wall, send us your fantasy PL lineups using the hashtag FFHH. Follow our resident soccer expert Joe Prince Wright for the latest Premier League news and updates.
Yes, you can see our autographed Newcastle jersey.
Nice.
One of Matthew's favorites, Nick Voltemade, is on there.
Yes, talks about him all the time.
Yeah.
God.
Bruno Guimaraes.
He's the best.
One of the big names. One of the big names for the Magpies. The England's Magpies, unlike the Collingwood Magpies.
From Premier League football to Monday Night Football, a fantasy bonanza between the 49ers and Colts, headlined by Brock Purdy's performance through the air. Jay, is he back to being locked in as a top 10 quarterback, or is he starting to just kind of feast on the bottom feeders of the NFL?
No, it's Brock Sember,
Yes.
Connor. It is very much Brock Sember. He was magnificent last night. The interception wasn't even his fault, I don't think. He put up 30.9 fantasy points, outdone by Christian McCaffrey. That's the best the Niners have looked on the ground for quite some time. But yeah, I think that this Niners offense, now that it is healthy, assuming George Kittle can go on Sunday night against the Bears, this offense has a case to be the best in football. Like, it's just, I think the sneaky thing about this offense is that this is the best offensive line that Purdy has played behind. He's never had time like this. Even when he was MVP favorite back in 2023, he had below average pass blocking. He was still having to scramble a lot. If Brock Purdy has time with these weapons, he will dice you up. Colts did not have a chance last night against that offense. So I think you want shares of this offense. I think Jawhar Jennings becomes a lot more interesting. And Purdy is must start every week.
Also feels like it's the healthiest all the guys around him have been, because there have been years where it's like he didn't have McCaffrey, he didn't have Kittle, he didn't have, Jawhar Jennings hadn't come on. Like
Trent Williams banged up, whatever it may be.
Yeah. And so it's crazy to think how good they are, and they don't have Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, nobody has Brandon Ayuk.
No, I understand that, but
No,
you know what I mean? But no, I mean, like, he was on this offense last year.
Yeah, those
Deebo
were
on this offense last year.
Those are his two best wide receivers when they made the Super Bowl. They're both gone, and they've been replaced. I mean, Jawhar Jennings has stepped up in his role, but, there's a lot of passes going to, like, Sky Moore and Kendrick Bourne, and this feels like the kind of the pinnacle of Kyle Shanahan's achievement. This has been his best year, I think.
I mean, listen, Chris McCaffrey, awesome, amazing. Actually needed him to score one more touchdown, sadly.
Wow. You're greedy.
Yeah,
He's got to 32 points.
No, I know, but that was the Monday Night Miracle I needed. STL Bird S23, or Birds 23, I guess. STL Birds 23.
Probably
Purdy or Stafford, St. Louis Birds. Yeah, he's a Cardinals fan, obviously. So, the Rams are on the road at Atlanta in the Dome. That's the Monday night game next week. Whereas Brock Purdy is home versus Chicago. I think I'd say Stafford still. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's against Atlanta in a Dome, 49.5. Huh?
I'm going Stafford as well.
Yeah. So we think Stafford.
Good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have. I don't think he could screw it up. I think both guys end up having
no Devontae, probably. But he was obviously able to do plenty without Devontae last week. But
13 personnel Rams.
Yeah. It's just that a lot of that was like insane Puka stuff, going for 225 yards. There's probably less goal line touchdown equity for Stafford without Devontae, but it's okay. You guys keep doubting Brock Sember. You go with Stafford.
You'd go with Brock against Chicago?
No, I'd go with Stafford too.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, Brock's been terrific. I still think I don't think he's a no-brainer. You start no matter what. You don't look at the matchup. But he's done what really good quarterbacks do, which is beat up on bad opponents. Like, he's looked completely dialed into this offense. And I go back to Matt Ryan's MVP year in Atlanta when Kyle Shanahan was offense coordinator. And I remember Matt Ryan doing an interview where he was just like, yeah, it takes you a year. Like, Shanahan's offense is super intense and intricate, and like Matt Ryan, even somebody like Matt Ryan who played quarterback for years and years and years, it's like it took me like a year and a half to feel really comfortable in that system. And maybe Brock Purdy is sort of hitting that moment now. He's, he wasn't nearly the prospect that Matt Ryan was when he came to the league. And so.
Friend of the show, Matt Ryan.
Friend of the show, Matt Ryan.
Radio Row legend.
For
good personal friend of mine.
Yes, that's right. No doubt as well. But but I still think he's a borderline QB1, every week, and with the potential to be mid-tier to upper-tier QB1 in the right matchup. So he's there. Kittle doing Kittle things. CMC's awesome. The other thing that I think Juwan Jennings is finally becoming what we want him to be, right? There was questions at the beginning of the year about, he's holding out. Is he injured a little bit as well? But finally healthy, finally becoming the number one guy for Brock Purdy. He's now scored in 4 straight games, 6 of his last 7. Since week 9, he's the 16th best wide receiver in fantasy football.
Yep. On the Colts side, more confidence for their pass catchers. Not a ton to take away, but good to see Alec Pierce have a big night. Josh Downs.
Alec Pierce was fantastic career game there. And just because the ability for Phil Rivers to push the ball down the field does make things a lot more viable. Tyler Warren as well. Still feel okay starting him next week. He got a lot of targets. Right. Yeah. He was also like, if Rivers steps into that throw where he's going out to the right, that's like a 30-yard touchdown, and his day looks completely different.
NFL fans are getting an extra present this week in the form of more primetime football on Peacock. Check out the Ravens and Packers in a Peacock exclusive on Saturday night. Then wrap up the weekend with an NFC showdown between the Bears and those 49ers in Northern California.
Okay, gentlemen, my grievance. So I've been a die-hard, lifelong Indianapolis Colts fan on and off since 2021. And in that time, there have been 2 different occasions where the Colts have been a 98% chance to make the playoffs. 2021 and this year. They're going to miss the playoffs both of those years. The odds of that happening, 1 in 2,500. It's not real. It's ridiculous that this has happened. My grievance is with football God. Why are you doing this, football God? Why have you put a curse upon the shoe? Remove the curse from the shoe. Let the shoe be curseless. This is ridiculous. Let the Colts make the playoffs next year. Makes me very upset. We're going to go to break. When we come back, our favorite bets, early week lines and totals coming up next.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
Crown is yours.
The crown is yours. It's time for last call. Little early line alert for Week 17. A lot of weird spreads as some teams have completely gone in the tank here, Jay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders' money line against the Giants, -120. This is what the Founding Fathers fought for. The Raiders are still, I think, trying, and the Giants have completely given up. Jackson Dart barely throwing the ball forward. I think the Raiders win that game.
Give me the Saints, -2.5 over the Titans. Nice win for the Titans last week, but the Saints right now, I think they're the best bad team in football right now. I believe they were going to win out these last 3. They only need to win by a field goal. Their offense is rolling. Their defense under Brendan Staley looks very, very good the last couple of weeks here. So give me the Saints to cover a small line against Tennessee.
All right, I'm gonna air my grievances right now as well. And I just look. I've been in this dynasty league for years and years and years, and I have crushed every single year. Do I have any titles? I have no titles. This is going to be the 4th straight year I've made the playoffs. This year I was the #1 seed. I had a bye, and yet what happened? Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I lose by 6 points, right? That play at the end, which should have been called a touchdown, that was a 12-point swing. I lose that, right? How about Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans? I have that stack as well because it's a super flex league, and they tried 2 different times. J.C. Horn's all over Mike Evans, and then Sean Tucker runs it in. Baker was bad. It's very, very frustrating. How about Colby Parkinson doing nothing on Thursday? Again, I lost by 6 points. All I need to do is catch something. Or how about this? How about the Patriots tackle Zay Flowers? How do you give up a rushing touchdown to Zay Flowers? Like that, the guy I played had Zay Flowers. He also had Kenneth Gainwell. How does he make that catch? It's outrageous. The whole thing is stupid. I'm going to finish with most points and once again, not have a dynasty title. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
We won't.